Hey guys, what's up? Murder of Birds here, and I'm bringing you guys my anime review for Beyond the Boundary episode 7. And this episode was pretty much a substance in terms of Mirai as well as Sakura's confrontation leading up to now. We find out that in previous episodes that Mirai had murdered her friend Yui, who was under control of the Hollow Shadow at the time, and Sakura just wants revenge on that the fact that she killed her sister and now she's all alone in this world. And the only thing that she has set in her mind is fighting and killing Mirai for revenge. Now, this episode also is in turn for Mirai a way of atonement, a way of finding how to, settle and resolve this issue that they have amongst each other. So the episode was really good. I definitely enjoyed it. Got a lot of good, details for Sakura and like her back history and things like that. And first off, we find out that Sakura is not a spirit warrior. Spirit warriors like Akihito, Mitsuki, Himuri, and Mirai, they are spirit warriors. They have these supernatural abilities, these supernatural feats that make them able to fight Yomu and make it look easy. But when we see Sakura fight these Yomu, she's actually struggling. She's, training to fight these Yomu. She doesn't have that finesse, she doesn't have the edge, if you will, to fight these Yomu. And it's because she's not a spirit warrior. Now, one thing that gives her an edge is her weapon, her scythe. We find out that it was given to her by a mysterious man. And I'll go into that more towards the end of this review. But for now, she's given this weapon by this man, and he says, you can keep this weapon, but you have to kill Mirai. And, lo and behold, this is what she already wanted. She already wanted to deal with Mirai for the fact that she killed her sister. So this weapon, this scythe of hers, is able to gain in strength and power from the Yomu that she fights. She fights a Yomu, it gets killed, it turns into a stone, and then she feeds the stone to the scythe, which in turn grants her more power. Now we see this at the beginning of the episode, and she's obviously strained because over the course of doing this, she's gonna rely heavily on this to get stronger because she doesn't have the supernatural effects of a spirit warrior. So we get that bit of for Sakura, how she's developing into the inevitable battle between her and Mirai. Now on Mirai's side, she feels that she needs to does she have to die in order to atone for what she did? Does she have to die for Sakura to know that she's truly sorry and doesn't want that to happen? Inevitably, she comes to the conclusion that she has to make her see it for herself. So they both end up clashing. This is what the episode is pretty much based around. You have these little instances in between, Himuri as well as Akihito doing that, that little perverted mindset with Mitsuki and the glasses and stuff like that, and then you have like their little thing with the naked guys on the iPod and stuff like that. That was, you get those little instances in between the episode, but the meat and bones of this episode was the fact of Mirai versus Sakura. How are they going to deal with that? So eventually they end up fighting each other, and we see during their battle that Sakura definitely is not jealous. Well, in a way she is jealous, but in a way she's also intimidated. She's intimidated to the fact that Mirai is a spirit warrior. She doesn't have to really try that hard, to get the upper hand in the battle. She has her blood abilities. She has her confidence. She knows what she's doing. And you have Sakura, who's not a spirit warrior, never was a spirit warrior, has this weapon that, she's relying on and doesn't really have any inner strength to combat and overcome Mirai. And you see that also in the flashback. We get a flashback of them as kids, and you have Mirai and Yui going off, and she's like, "Hey, we're spirit warriors or anything. You're not a spirit warrior, but it's like you're exceptional in your own way. We're exceptional as spirit warriors, but because you're not a spirit warrior, you're exceptional. Boosting up her confidence a bit." So inevitably, they're fighting, they're going back and forth, and eventually we see that not being a spirit warrior and handling a supernatural weapon like that scythe is not something that they don't go hand in hand. Because we eventually see, and from Himuri's interpretation of it, that sword, that weapon, that scythe is obviously consuming her. It's devouring her because she doesn't have what it takes to possess and hone its skills and things like that. So eventually Mirai obviously lets her know, hey, I don't want you to get your hands dirty. What I did, I can't take that back. I can't take the fact back that I killed your sister. She was under effect. And I can't take that back, but at the same time, I don't want you to be in my predicament. I don't want you to have to kill me to right your, to feel better and to be at peace with yourself, because then you'll be on the same position as I am. And she ends up fighting. She ends up fighting each other. The weapon ends up trying to take hold and devour Sakura, and Midai helps her. And through that, Sakura ends up seeing the light. She ends up seeing, it's like, hey, this isn't, what it's cracked up to be. I understand, that you didn't do what you wanted to. You did what you had to do, even though you didn't want to do it. So they end up patching things up. And it was really good. I mean, the way I'm putting it, it seems like they just, they fought and then they, kiss and make up. But it was obviously way more in depth, as obviously you probably watched it. I'm still trying to get new to these reviews too. But anyways, yeah, but the two things that popped up in this episode really surprised me and really raised a question is the mysterious man that gave her the scythe. At the end of the episode, when they clear the sewers that they're fighting in, that man shows up and he picks up the scythe. And that guy is the exact same guy, a few episodes back, who was talking to Izumi. He's part of the Spirit Warrior Society, the guy with the juice box and the glasses and stuff. And I'm like, what is this? What? He has a hidden agenda? And he mentions the fact that, the site has enough Yomu stones in it. Now he's going to go after the hollow shadow, which if we also seen in previous episodes, Izumi. Her intentions are, very cloudy, very questionable in the fact that she, brought that Yomu, the hollow shadow Yomu stone to this old man. And at the end of the episode, she mentions the fact of, the calm is coming. The calm is like this stagnant amount of time where everything is halted. And she mentions something about beyond the boundary. So there's a lot of things that are still questionable and, there's a lot of questions raised. But overall, this episode was pretty good in terms of the substance that we got. Midai and Sakura's, beef, if you will, has been, calmed. It's been, settled. But let me know what you guys thought of the episode. I thought it was amazing. I really liked it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you guys did enjoy this review, also be sure to like it and subscribe if you're new to my channel. It really helped me out, and, I love you guys for that too. Thanks a lot, guys, and I will chat with you guys next week. Peace.